the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside, and Trunkgate goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
He's trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Leonard drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the upset the Parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cutback here. Get the run out the Parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Alfala is $10,500 richer. Two-time NASCAR. Is your 2013 NASCAR iRacing. It's going to be Humvee winning the race, and it's going to be Conti taking away his first NASCAR 2017 NASCAR Beginner Free Series Championship to Ryan Luza. Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Beginner Free iRacing Series.
the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alfala is $10,500 richer. Two-time NASCAR. This is your 2013 NASCAR iRacing. It's going to be Humpy winning the race, and it's going to be Conti taking away his first NASCAR
2017 NASCAR Beginner Free Series Championship to Ryan Luza. Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Beginner Free iRacing Series.
humans.
2 minutes ago. Yep. Dawn of a new era. Yep.
Evening all, and welcome back to another AMF GT Dev Series race. This one is round 7 of season 6. We're at Le Mans, and it's going to be a 90-minute endurance race. Once again, I'm welcoming Isaac into the commentary box. How you going, Isaac?
Much better than last week.
How's that flu going?
It's mostly eradicated.
That's always good. So let's run through a few things straight up, okay? As you'll see through the night, we've got a little bit of a different overlay. It's not too much of a different change, but this will be the first and first of many broadcasts from Podium. So you'll see a little bit of a different colour change. As we always say every week, man, we're sponsored by RMS, Race Management Services, the one-stop shop for all your iRacing software needs. Have a look at that. Go onto the Discord. And have a look at what's coming up, especially it's going to be a big year for 2020 and iRacing software. So let's go look at the track facts tonight. Obviously the track, we're at Le Mans. Don't ask me to say that, I can't say that, I'm an Aussie. Okay, layout, obviously there's only one. Country, we're in France. Okay, we've got 38 turns, not tons. Okay, length, yeah, no, I was about to say, it'd weigh a lot more than that. So the length is 14 Ks. That's my laziness, not putting Ks after it. The weather at this moment, okay, it's mostly cloudy. The temperature is 30 degrees. Track time is 30. Wind speed is 2 Ks, and the estimated laps is 21,400,000. Nah, it's not that. It will click over. Someone told me that was the biggest mistake you did until the race starts. So let's move on and go to the grid, hopefully, if it grids up right. Because we're known for at least a couple of technical errors. That's what happens in the whole phase of learning. So, Isaac, hopefully we've got them all out the way.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
We'll be alright.
Alright, look, the GT3 grid tonight, we'll run it through real quickly. Okay, we've got James Wilson at P1, Steve Lattimore out of P2, Ross Rizzo coming back, P3, he was in chat before and YouTube. P4, Philip Morton, Scott Chambers out of 5th, Craig Edwards out of 6th, that's really weird to see. Liam Eagle out of 7th, he's on the point today, by the way. I was watching him in practice, he's really good. Tyler Blackburn in race when I was behind him, for some reason it's not showing the teams. So we've got 3 errors now, Isaac, so we're going to be good for the night.
Yeah, definitely we're good for the night.
Yeah, hopefully. Look, out of 9th, Chris Whittaker, 10th, Aaron Invers. Alright, let's go up the order here. We won't call out everyone's names because it takes 25 hours.
We don't have that long of time?
Nah, we don't, mate. Not tonight. Okay, Tom Curran and Chad Hearn out of the GT3 grid. How can you not see this happening? Okay?
I am not surprised.
Are you surprised at all? No, I'm not at all. Alright, as we go through the field. Okay, look. Now, what we'll do real quick, as we'll show you championship points, and as you can see, GT East End is Chris Whittaker, Michael Barron, Aaron Invers and Chris Fraser, Tyler Blackburn, all in the top 5 over there. And as we just said, that it's not expected that Tom Curran and Chad Hearn are at the top. Only 10 points. Same team, but these boys are pushing each other. They're GT3s, even though they're a lower class in this race. These boys cleared the field, right? They were only half a second apart, and they finished the race 14 seconds ahead of any other GT3. So that's a good feat in its own.
Yeah, it's also pretty good to have these little inter-team battles as well, make things a bit more interesting. Even though you're kind of already pulling yourself away from the rest of the GT3 field, you just want to have a little battle of yourself, try not to be too professional, because that's just too boring.
As we just hear the planes go over this top.
It's a new era. And I am so excited. The GTE cars are about to get on the way. Down the final corner we go. It's the dawn of a new era. Welcome to Podium Broadcasting. Come on. It's go. And already they got a bit of the jostling down the back there. Tyler Blackburn in the race on odds. Porsche just got kind of caught up there, but it looks like it's just been a relatively clean start for the GTE. So let's have a look at what's happening to the GTE. Or maybe not. It's close. Chris Fraser and Dan Haniva turn 2. They nearly bumped. They don't need that. Already, this is a 90-minute enduro race. They do not want another incident. Well, they want an incident on the first lap.
I think this feel's been really good. I've just been watching the screen. Sorry, I just put you on the GT3s at the front up there. Just give them a little bit of credit for the start there. We know the GTEs are going to get away nice and clean, but we thought we'd put it back and just watch the start of the GT3s. Everyone's got away so clean. I think that everyone's got it in their mind again that it is an endurance race, that these boys are going to play the long game.
Oh, they would be, definitely. They'll have that mindset of trying and get things sorted.
Early move already.
Whoa.
Ooh, is he going to do it on his teammate?
No.
That's good old Chad Earn there. He's getting touchy. Was it Tom Curran that actually won the last one? Was it?
I think it was.
So I think Chad's probably going to go, nah, come on, mate. I got the beamer. I'm sick of sitting in the slipstream here. Give me a little bit of room. Ah, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Bit of a dot.
Yeah, as he pulls out.
Oh, it's got him.
Hey, watch out. Hayden Vell's right behind him. There's going to be early moves here.
Would be definitely.
Yeah, well, let's smash up the front just in the GTEs. Because we got James Wilson and we got Ross Rizzo right up his tail. And Ross is in a Porsche as well, of all cars, the RSR. So, this is going to be one to watch for tonight, mate. I got to watch Ross Rizzo tonight, eh?
Yeah, definitely, but there is a bit of a down the back there. As they're nearly going free ride down past Mulsanne corner. A lot of cars just lifting at the moment. I'm a little scared there might be a little they're about to coming to alley. It sounds like just Valley's already all there for. Gonna get gnarly. Feel it.
The boys are making some early moves.
Oh yeah, definitely are. Look at Ross, just up and behind with James Wilson. Oh. Through Michelin Bend. There's a bit of a gap now going at the moment.
Let's go on board with Steve Lattimore and see what he's looking at. He's third in the GTEs.
We're only looking at the battle of the lead at the moment. He's going to be loving this, because if one of them checks up and looks like Rizzo nearly just had a little loopsy moment, just 2 wheels on the grass, no big deal. He'll try and see if there's anyone can try and coax one of them into a mistake to see if he can try and pounce the 2, because he's now in position number 3, but now he's being hounded by another FT1 car behind him of Phil Morton. And look at that, almost side by side down the Dunlop Bridge. And It looks like it's going to be a relatively clean deal at the moment.
Just looking back at Bruce Ross as he was making some moves. I just saw that on the timing sheet there. Brucey was right up the back of them two. Let's see if I can get a replay real quick.
And the moment you just got the replay, Phil Morton goes into position number 3, and looks like Steven is slowing up.
Oh, it's two PRT cars.
Steven's slowing up big time. What's going on here? It's like the momentum has suddenly stopped. It's actually coming to a stop. What's going on here?
Steve Lattimore's got some issues, eh?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, he must have had a slowdown.
Must have. He's now back up to speed.
How did he grab that?
I don't know.
Oh, well, let's have a look real quick.
That's weird.
See if he's cut the corner. Oh, that's not more than half a car. Would you say that was more than half a car? That wasn't more than half a car.
I actually think the slowdown might have been initiated from going on the outside before Mulsanne Straight. It was well outside Mulsanne Straight, and I believe it might have been an iRacing afflicted penalty. So, yeah, that would suck.
Simple, just straightforward. That would suck. Yeah. All right, let's look at the top 5 GTEs. Okay, we got James Wilson up front, Ross Rizzo, Phil Morton half a second behind, but Ross Rizzo is right up his tail. You cannot get any closer. Let's go to that battle. We'll shoot forward here. As you can see, that Ross Rizzo is making a move around the outside.
Side by side, the 2018 V8 Sculpts Bathurst 1000 winner makes the move.
Oh, but it's not over yet.
No, watch the crisscross. Watch the crisscross. I can see it happening.
Let's go on board, because an onboard looks always better.
But to make matters worse, he's now been hounded by not only one, but 2 FT1 cars. Not only James Wilson, but Phil Morton behind him too.
Well, we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to pull a bit of a gap.
She's still early, mate. She's still early. It's only lap 2. It's lap 2. It's one, an hour and 22 minutes to go.
Oh yeah, definitely. And seen from race control, there was an incident on lap 1 between cars number 185 and 180. So that was Jesse Varley on
and Sebastian
Murray Westberg. No spins or positions raced on, but Jesse has Alt F forward somehow.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that, especially in a race like this. Understandable, it's an endurance race and all that kind of stuff, but you got to give it your all. You spin, you smash. Oh, Ross Rizzo going a little bit wide there.
Yeah, that's going to kill some time.
Yeah, all right.
Now Hayden's disconnected.
Oh, mate, we've got a few problems tonight. Hayden Vell, Jesse Varley.
I need to get onto them too.
Yeah, I think you might. You might want to have to call a team meeting and say, "Hey, boys, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
All right.
They're my teammates. And, yeah. Weird.
All right, let's go back to the top 5 in GT3. Surprise, surprise, Chad Hearn's up front. Okay, second place, Rob Gray. Third, Tom Curran.
Oh, hello. Sorry to interrupt it. That's damage on Craig Edwards' car.
Let's go have a squeeze at that. Oh, he has too. Where is that happened?
It's him and Aaron Ivers. What the hell happened there? Let me just try and go back and have a look.
Trying to find it as well. Just in there. Oh yeah, Craig Edwards, Incident 1X. Here we go.
Looks like it looks pretty recent too. Looks like he has. Oh, that's a big one. And that's heavy netcode by Aaron Ivers on Chris Fraser. Turn Fraser around. Oh, and got a bit of air.
Trying to watch a replay here, but someone stopped on the end of the track and nothing's happening so far.
I've managed to pick it up. It was an incident between Chris Fraser and Aaron Ivers, a big netcode incident. Craig Edwards, the innocent victim, and all that. So that's a bit of a shame. Gonna check on what the race controller is gonna say.
Well, as it stands, as we know, the AMF Dev Series and the endurance races, okay, there's 2 mandatory pit stops and there's 1 mandatory tyre change, okay, and you do have a fast repair. So that's the rules that we have. But Craig Edwards using a fast repair on lap 3 is quite concerning. But we know how Craig Edwards can drive, and he's usually up the front there. So it's very unusual to see him in the position that he is.
Yeah, that's really weird and very uncharacteristic of Craig. We know how good he usually drives, and I think he is currently the championship leader of the AMF Enduro series. And the scene there, it's 785, that being Chris Fraser, and 937, that's Aaron Ivers, has been deemed a netcode incident. There you go. So my
as we just see James Wilson make a move on Philip Morton as he touches the curb.
Liam Eagle around. Looks like it might have done it on his loadsome. Oh yeah, yes he has. Locked the brakes and spun himself around. No harm, no foul.
Well, that's a self-incident. No one's not too much. He's not in the fence or nothing like that. But Steve Lattimore is not showing a time at the moment, so I wonder what's going on with that.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Race on Oz has taken over this series. What's going on? Where's all the FT1 cars? And yeah, can't say anything about it. You're Isaac. You're a Race on Oz boy. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna pick fights.
No. No.
I think Race on Oz would be the second most members in the iRacing community in Down Under, wouldn't it?
Oh, close to. I think Steven said we have close to around 30 members. That's including the spin-off company. There's 2 of the cars already coming. That's Stephen Lattimore and Tyler Blackburn coming in for their, looks like their compulsory pit stop.
Well,
yeah.
Stephen Varga's been in there as well. But he was a 43 pit lane and a 28 stop. So it looks like by the average of the GT3s that you're looking about 28 seconds, roughly. But not only that, Chris Fraser, that's in P40 but 23 in the GT3s, he only made a 16.3 second stop. So that'd be interesting to see what's happening there.
Yeah.
Oh, not only that, Steve Lattimore, Tyler Blackburn, both in the pits at the same time. You cannot tell me, right?
Yeah.
That is not Race on Oz pit strategy happening right now.
Can't confirm or deny.
He's playing it that way. All right, let's go back up the front. Let's go have a look at. Let's go jump on board with Ross Rizzo. He's up front at the moment. He's got a 1.8 second lead.
It's got a bit of a gap going between both the FT1 cars.
That's it's not too bad, to be honest.
Yeah, I find it a little bit interesting. He'll be looks like the Porsches are pretty decent around Le Mans, but knowing the Ferraris might get close to Ross.
Yeah, well, if you look at P2, P3, all right, we've got Philip Morton, James Wilson, both in Ferraris, and they're losing seconds per lap.
Yeah, it looks like they've done a bit of a teammate pass.
Yeah, well, obviously, Philip Morton sent it down. James got a little bit wide, and he had to take that, but
that'll do it.
Oh, well, if the opportunity's there, you got to send it. And if you don't send it, then what's the point of racing?
True.
Is that my bad habit showing through on commentary here? This is why I'm commentating a race rather than driving a race?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, Ryan Jones making a dive on another FT1 car, being Taylor Oakes. Makes a good pass, but goes wide at Mulsanne corner. Looks like he might lose that spot back to Taylor Oakes, who has a really interesting nickname on the back of his car.
Let's see if we can have a look at that nickname. Let's see if we can do it.
Should show up on screen. But there we go, side by side.
Let's jump on with Liam Eagle, and you'll be able to see it as they go. So, oh, that was a close one. Oh, is he going to get the 2 spots as well?
Oh.
Coming out, he's going to... No, he's not going to get it.
No. Wait, his nickname is Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay. Is he a Taylor Swift fan here? Is that what we can see going on here? Dave Clements is going to come up behind him soon. So, as soon as Dave Clements, if Dave Clements gets a little bit up his bum, we'll have a look at his little Tay-Tay sticker on the back of his car.
Yeah. Is he going to shake it off?
Mate, I'm not going to say nothing.
Oh boy. Oh,
Dave Clements, while we mention him, mate, Dave Clements is the brains behind RMS, the sponsor for tonight. Well, the sponsor for the series. You know, RMS, the race management services. So he is the brains. He's the software programmer, man. You got any questions with anything iRacing programming, message him. He's the best man to know.
definitely the one. Looks like the field is starting to spread out quite a bit. Oh, one on the third.
Seeing some gaps, but Scott Chambers is probably the closest up the front here at 0.3.
Oh, Andrew Mogridge. Oh, that's close. Between him and Ross McQueen. Nearly got turned. Yes, I did say Mogridge. But anywho, that was pretty close between the two. And looks like Russ is going to make a dive very shortly. If there's going to be another dive bomb behind him.
Oh, Dan coming in.
Dan.
So come on, are we going to get Dan 1 spot up, and then we're going to have a race on Oz versus Team CMR battle here?
Maybe. Oh, looks like it may happen.
Oh,
Russ
he went wide. He just went
understeered
wide.
it. He's lost a lot of spot. The pressure is on.
Dan's going to get right behind him now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He'll be nice and calm and watching this onto the straight.
Down Mulsanne straight and executes. Almost executes the pass, but remember, we got the first chicane. So the driver that has to bail has to be Ross because it won't work. It looks like there's been another incident of 179 and 134. I think we already got that one. And Dan has done the move.
So can we have no commentators curse this tonight? Hopefully that we can get some things right here. Alright, so let's start predicting things and hopefully they go well. So this is going to be a Team CMR versus Race on Oz battle here. Okay?
Oh no.
It's not for a massive, major position, but hey, you never know where you're going to start and where you're going to finish in a race. Well, you know you're going to start, but you never know where you're going to finish in a race.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, looks like Ross has gone back onto the dive. He's got the better position and gets the spot back, so that battle did not last long. Only lasted like maybe a kilometre or two.
Yeah, a couple. Just pulling up on screen, the fastest lap of the race is lap 4 by Ross Rizzo at a 3:52.529. So hopefully during the race tonight, if everything works out and my skills are sharp enough, you'll see the little fastest lap pop up here and there.
Yep, and it has showed up on screen. So that's
well,
pretty good.
Hopefully it shows up by itself. It's all teething problems and everything like that. Look, we're here not to be professional. We're here to have a laugh and show this. If you watch the series and watch what's going on, we started broadcasting just as a I don't know, what would you say? Just a view for the drivers to go back and watch their races. So it wasn't a serious thing, and no, we don't charge or anything like that. We donate our time, and Isaac donates his time greatly. Probably more than I do. You know, we've had heaps of help along the way. Not only from the AMF, GT Dev Series guys, Isaac Edwards that steps in the commentary box. Dave Clements has jumped in the commentary box. Bruce Ross was my commentator last season, even though he actually stepped out of the car to drive. And while I'm talking about him, might as well chuck him on screen. because he's, again, for the second week in a row, he's behind Dave Clements. And obviously Dave Clements is RMS, so the major sponsor in the series of the AMF Dev Series.
How do I keep missing this? There was another incident with Cameron Pryor and 168 being Hayden Benefield that just happened recently. Again, no further action. We've been missing it. iRacing, why?
I don't blame iRacing. I think you should blame me. The dude that's on the controls, I think you should blame me and say, hey dude, you're not keeping up with what's going on. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at multiple things at many times. So it's not an easy gig to commentate and broadcast at the same time. Many other people would tell you the same thing. Oh, as he's on the grass. Ouch. Craig Edwards and Aaron Invers. That's a bad move trying to get through a car there.
Again? It's deja vu.
Yeah, well, that's it. Look, you've already got GT3s and GTEs mixed in. Like, Tyler Blackburn, let's take this. He's had his pit stop, right? So he's already had his pit stop. But he is now between 7th and 8th in the GT3s. Then we look at Craig Edwards. He's down in P30. And he's got Aaron Invers behind him. Well, pretty much up his bumper. And he's between P10 and 11 in the GTEs.
It is nuts.
Yep, just a Steve
well,
Lattimore, as I was saying.
Aaron Ivers around, looks like.
Oh no! As we were just talking about it.
Oh, it's a self-inflicted spin.
Let's have a replay of that real quick.
That was actually pretty hefty impact on there. So it might. I don't know how many fast repairs are used in this race. I think that might be 2 or 1. But if it's 1, game over.
Yeah, that's definitely a hard hit there for him.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual. As we're seeing, there's actually another car that's joined up between Dan and Russ, being Pat Gallo in the redback Porsche. Going down the last parts of Mulsanne Corner, Mulsanne Straight into Mulsanne Corner.
He's going to make the move on Ross McQueen here. He's right up the tail of him.
Oh, that is tight.
But you've got Dan, Russ, and Pat all in this. So to feel like Russ is a bit of a sandwich here between a Porsche and a Ford. So it's a good battle. It shows that the AMF Dev Series are balancing out these setups between cars. Because if one was favourable, you wouldn't see a Porsche, Ford, and a Ferrari all having a battle within that close.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty good to see the 3 manufacturers all lined up with each other, having a little battle of its own, and knowing iRacing, there's actually might be a 4th GTE coming in the next build.
Oh, that's
pretty excited for.
That's got to be the Aston.
I'm divided at the moment, but I'm thinking more of the BMW, the M8.
Oh, nah, we're not allowed to swear on broadcast, so I'm not going to say anything to that.
Well, as far as I know, there's approximately maybe 4 other GTEs as of the 2019 Daytona 24. So we've got the BMW, we've got the Aston, and I believe also the Chevrolet Corvette. That's also in GTE form. I think there might be a couple of others that I might have missed. But if anyone wants to say in the commentary chat what GTEs have raced in the 2019 Daytona 24, because I feel like that's it. I feel like it was the BMW, the Aston, and the Corvette. And I've heard iRacing it has been issues with trying to get all the licensing and all that from Pratt & Miller, who run the Corvette, because the Corvette's actually not a factory-backed car. It's a customer car done by Pratt & Miller. I think BMW and Aston are going to be pretty easy to get because they're both factory-backed.
It's gonna be a bit of.
Dan Wide locks the brakes while I was trying to have my little lecture on how.
Oh, he loses it. He loses the spots.
Oh, this is getting gnarly. Pat Gallows.
Let's
He's getting a
go
little
back
impatient
for a
now.
quick replay for the 2-second little transitions.
Oh, Ross White again!
All by himself. Unlucky. Now let's go jump back.
And Dan's already caught back up. Holy smokes. It's like a little battle between each other.
Yeah, CMR for the win. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. But also, Dave Clements, by the way, the timing screen, he's right up the back of Bruce Ross. But Bruce Ross was actually behind Dave Clements, so I missed that one. I apologise.
It's a juggling act at the moment.
Yeah, but them two will. They'll do it. Yeah, to and fro all night.
Oh, Ross White nearly hits the tyre barrier at the first Mulsanne chicane. That was so close. That nearly could have ended badly, but thankfully that wasn't the case. Holy smokes, that could have ended badly. Oh lordy. Alright. Here we go at the second Le Mans at the second Mulsanne chicane. It looks like Russ has got some understeer issues because he's just gone wide again, loses a spot to Dan. It looks like he's just being a little bit too aggressive now. Like he's not pulling the punches. He's no longer pulling the punches. He's actually pulling the punches, but he's missing them left, right, and center. So that was a second understeer, and it's cost him out pretty badly at the moment because it's just showing that. Oh, look, brakes! He goes wide again at Mulsanne corner. It's getting a little bit too aggressive now. There's a little bit of red mist in the air. So if I was him, I would try to maybe calm down a little, have your heart rate down just a bit. Don't be causing doing any more mistakes. Just try and be consistent, smooth and consistent, nice and smooth.
Considering there's an hour to go.
Yeah. Try to be a Ludo here, nice and smooth.
You got to do it with accent, bro.
Nice and small, thank you.
That's it. Now let's jump at the front. Philip Morton. He's still hanging in there, mate. He's still on the back of Ross Rizzo. Okay. Now, as I will see, Philip Morton has the fastest lap. Go
Bing,
figure.
bing, bing.
So he is in P2, and as you can see, that he's got 5.5 seconds already on James Wilson. So the move that they made before, probably about, what was it, lap 5, lap 4, that when Philip Morton went around and got past his teammate James Wilson, he's on the charge, mate. He's on the chart. So if I was Ross Rizzo, right, I'd be watching what's going on, Chief. Because you got a feather coming right up your bum.
Yeah, you've got the shield and the prancing horse. What will be your bets on? I actually think Phil might get a move on at the moment because it looks like Ross has got a little bit squirrely coming out of that corner, coming into Mulsanne Straight.
Well, look at the stints, mate. They've done 8 laps. Okay, 8 laps around here. You know, it's not a small feat. Okay?
No.
Even though there is long straights and all the bollocks, but you're still hard on the brakes and hard on the tyres. But these are GTE cars. You can do multiple stints on these cars. So there's no way that you should be understeering or oversteering because of your tyres. Okay, that's driver's issue. As we see there just then, Ross Rizzo locking the front right. That's driver issues. So everyone's just pushing a little bit too hard, a little bit too fast, and as we're on board, far out, are we actually going to see the move happen here?
Done.
As is side by side.
Maybe.
Let's see what happens on the next corner. As soon as the internet
Phil
sorts itself out.
That pass done.
Oh, it's kicking the shit. Everything's going wrong. But hey, it happened.
It happened, and what can you do now? You just have to be behind Phil.
As I said, he's on a charge. Philip Morton is absolutely on a charge.
Yeah. Looks like the tyres may have just come on the optimal tyre temperature and it's absolutely pulled away. It's just, he's now pulling a bit of a gap over Ross, who might have maybe shot his tyres a bit.
But it's not that. Look, we got to watch the times, okay? We're only focusing on 1 and 2 cars at the moment, right? But in a race like this, and Ross Rizzo's experience, if your tyres are a little bit, let's say, degraded, someone's putting the pressure on, and a long track like this that you need that aero, wouldn't you let him go? And just sit right behind him?
I would.
Like, personally, I'd do the same thing. I'd say, look, I've pushed a little bit hard to get my gap there. He did. Like, look, Ross Rizzo did start. Let's see what position he started in. If I'm smart enough to figure it out.
He started in P4?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was P3 or 4. Oh, no, he was in second. He was in P2. So this is actually 1 and 2.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, so
Phil Morton already pulling out a gap, but when they go around the timing loop, we're gonna see how quick their lap times actually are.
all right, let's go. Let's jump through the field because we have the time. It's a long race. We've got 59 minutes left, and it's only lap 8. All right, James Wilson's out in 3rd place. Let's change the camera here so you can actually see what's going on. Bring up some telemetry. All right, James Wilson. Obviously, James Wilson and Phil Morton were having that battle before. There he is, 5.8 seconds behind.
Whoa!
Chris Whittaker in P4. Nice and cruisy position that he is.
So Phil Morton's done a 52.4. Ross Rizzo's done a 53.7. So that's a loss of nearly 1 and a bit seconds. 1.2 seconds.
But still, for the best lap, is a 51.7 by Phil.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. Look, they got to make 2 pits still in 58 minutes. And trust me, like the guys that pitted first, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Craig Edwards, Steve Lattimore, Tyler Blackburn. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Are probably on the best strategy.
Yeah,
because you do have to take, as we said, compulsory.
Did I see a headlight spin? Or was that just my imagination? No, it was just my imagination.
Jones is in the pit now.
That was my imagination. I thought someone spun, but it looks like it was one of the stage lights. Oops.
I think it's kind of cool having it at night time though as well. We get these nice lights and nice little things. We had conversations during the week to see that. Is it going to work well? Is it going to be alright for the broadcast to have it at night time? But I think it's really fun. I don't see that there's any issue. Do you, Isaac? I think it looks pretty.
Yeah, it does. It looks like iRacing has optimized Le Mans for day-night transition. I know they've done several tracks to be optimized for day-night transition. That being Le Mans, I think the Nürburgring is as well, and I forgot Daytona. Daytona, that's the one. That's the one.
There will be a new Daytona track.
Actually, I don't think it's actually a Daytona track. I think they've updated the 2011 track. They have the Daytona Rising building on it.
That's correct. It's just an update. It's not a new track as such or anything like that, but it's new to iRacing, and everyone knows in iRacing, if you want anything new, then #Sue.
Yeah. So it looks like the first part of Season 2 build has been confirmed being Daytona Rising.
We get the new GT3 as well on March 5th. Tyler Blackburn just taking a bit of curb there.
Ow. Ooh. Ow. That's my teammate too. And March the 5th, how about that? That's my birthday.
Just about to say that, mate. That is your birthday.
It'll be 20 years young, and how about that for a birthday present?
20 years young.
Yeah. Oh, who is that?
They're getting close.
Tyler Blackburn, I believe he might have hit the guardrail.
Let's go on board and have a look at this. He did too. Look at the back of that. BRT. Who's that?
That's Tyler Blackburn. It's just gone wide. He's gonna take the chute. He's gonna kill him.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Not only that,
He was in a battle with a GT3 car.
No, but just previously before that, he was actually in the battle with Stephen Davis. Sorry.
Yeah.
And he ran right up the curb as well, trying to get through the inside.
He's pulling no
surprise, surprise, as I should say, the top 5 GT3s, it's Chad Hearn, Tom Curran, and Rob Gray.
Right.
Brenton West. There we go. Even that, if you want to go back to the championship points, who do you think the top 4 are?
The same. Curran.
Pretty much.
Curran, Hearn,
Yeah.
Gray, West.
So.
You can't separate the 4.
But obviously the Beamer's doing a little bit better than...
The Audi.
Well, that's a 9.6 second gap. Now, all we've seen is Chad Hearn and Tom Curran absolutely pushing hard this season. And I mean it. Absolutely pushing hard. And if you know Tom Curran you would know from sim racing giveaways on Facebook. That's where I initially met Tom. And then he kind of gave that up and passed it on and then moved into... It was on the racetrack more. So it's good for him, but he's really pushing hard this season to develop his driving.
Definitely.
As much as we would say, it's the AMF GT Dev Series and Ryan and that do a really good job at the Dev Series, that they still promote that the fact is that even you can see this competition racing, they still promote the fact that we're developing drivers in the series.
Definitely.
Well, it's kind of a kicker because we're broadcasting it, Isaac. We can't race in this. Where would you be?
Way down the order.
Yeah, probably me too.
Yeah.
I've had some bingles on 3 seasons ago in AMF.
And yeah, sorry to interrupt, but Ross has regained the lead over Phil Morton, and it's pulled a bit of a gap.
1.9 seconds in front.
That's something we completely Ooh. Bruce Ross on Andrew Mogridge. It's coming out the first Mulsanne chicane. Keep an eye on them just in case there's a mistake happening. Side by side again.
Right on him.
Yeah, Ross is going to have the better cornering coming into this. Seems that there's a lot of passes.
He's making moves tonight, Bruce.
Yeah.
He's usually in the commentary. Actually, he was the original. You got to give him props. He was the original broadcaster for the AMF Dev Series. And then I was a commentator, and then we moved on to swapping positions because Bruce wanted to race. So, Isaac, get ready for next season, mate, because you're the broadcaster. Nah.
Yay.
As he makes a move again, look at this, up the inside. Oh, Bruce is going to back out of that. He's not going to have a bar of it. He's going to let him have it.
Yeah, let him have it, let him have it.
Yeah, but this is the same thing. Look, these guys are going to wind down the clock, wind down the clock, wind down the clock. We're going to see the most action of this race in the last 5 minutes. Okay, it's always going to be who's going to get the slipstream, who's going to get the best run out of the corners. Oh, and look, he's back at him again.
They're all crossing around like violins.
That's it. It's Le Mans. That's it. Whoever gets that little slight 1K advantage of coming out the next corner onto a straight, that's what matters. Now, obviously, the AMF Dev Series is a fixed setup race. We have people that do these setups to balance these cars to make them exactly the same. And they do put a lot of time into these setups. So, yeah, it's interesting to see 2 Ferraris going chop to chop. Because that's on driver ability, not on car.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew goes back again to do another dive.
Oh, soon. Hashtag soon.
I'll
I'll just put that in there. Hashtag soon. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, look at that. He's already almost closed the gap on Bruce. This is becoming absolutely nuts.
Well, there's a couple of close battles. Look, Chris Whittaker coming in the pits. He's taking his compulsory pit stop. Stephen Bartholomew. Sorry, Steve. I have to say your name slow. Otherwise, I'll say it's Bart. Simpson's problem. He's already had his... Yeah. Alright, I'm sorry, Steve. Just, you know, another person that's going to abuse me in Discord. Look, he's already had his pit stop as well. So, look, we've got a mixed field here. Everyone is mixed up. We've got Tom Curran up the back of Tyler Blackburn soon. But that's a GT3 and a GTE because Tyler Blackburn is actually in a GTE. Tom Curran hasn't taken his pit stop yet, and he's in P2. P2 in GT3s. See, there's too many GTs here, mate. Oh, Zach, I keep messing up.
It's confusing.
Oh, it does sometimes. You look at so many numbers all night long.
Yeah. See, what's that? What's that? What's that? Ah, bugger. Missed it.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it's like. But surprise, surprise, Chad Hearn, Tom Curran still up the front. And 1-2 in GT3s. Craig Edwards though, he's coming back. What do you reckon about him? Isaac?
Looks. I do have hopes with him. If he starts crawling back, he'll definitely be up there.
Well, the way he drives his car, you know, he's going to be out there.
Yeah, definitely. Without a doubt. I see you get a drink. Quickly, I'll be back in a minute.
No worries. Well, hey, let's take the time. Philip Morton's got the fastest lap time of the lap. Let's jump on board with Philip Morton for one lap. Well, not one lap, because it takes ages. Let's jump on board. Alright, went for a lap. That's long enough.
Oh.
Let's go back. Okay, Chad Hearn still in top 5 of the GT3s. Let's go through the GT3s. Chad Hearn, Tom Curran, Brenton West has made the spot up. Brenton Young is following him up. Brendan, sorry. And then Javon Wood still in 5th. Alright, let's go to top 5 GTEs. Ross Rizzo still at the front there, but not by much. Philip Morton. Oh, as they both come in the pits. This is going to be good to see. James Wilson, Scott Chambers, and Darren Huxham. Sorry, Darren, if I say your name wrong. Write me a strong-worded lesson on Discord. I'll high five thumbs that up. I just want to watch this, just see if Philip's going to jump him real quick. Oh shit, he is too.
Oh, he has.
This is going to be interesting to watch in probably about a lap or two. I don't think by personal experience that the Ferrari is going to hit at the tyres more than what the Porsche is. I think the Porsche is a little bit more stable coming out of the pits on cold tyres than what a Ferrari is. So they've done their... Both. Have they? No, they've only pitted once.
So this would be their... yeah, this would be their first compulsory...
Yeah, they need to do another.
Whoa! That was close. Who was that? Oh, I'll try to see who it was.
Who was that? Ross Rizzo's making a move.
Sebastian Murray Westberg. That I have to say that has caught Phil off guard. That would have caught Phil off guard. He would not have seen that Mercedes of Sebastian Murray Westberg just spin all of a sudden.
He wouldn't have. But Ross Rizzo benefited from that. Unlucky for the fact of it, but give props to Sebastian for the same thing.
Yeah, did not wipe out the two-lane drive.
Look,
that would have.
You got to turn a negative into a positive, man. He moved out of the way. He didn't hit any cars. He saw the leaders coming, man. He would have, you know, let's say it family friendly. You know, he would have pooped and went, oh no, and got out of the way. Okay, so come on.
Fresh undies for Philip Morton, please.
Yes, but Philip Morton would still have that little bit of ow that hurt because he did get out. He jumped him in the pits. His car did drop. You know, his car did drop a lot quicker than what Ross Rizzo's did. So, ouch. But he's dominated this race so far. I'm sorry to say, Ross Rizzo has dominated this race so far. So we'll see what happens at the end. Phil Morton's just got to lick a stamp and send it.
Oh yeah, it will send it. It will send it soon. I can tell you that.
Well, look at this. Look, his teammate James Wilson. Bang. Send it on your mate Andrew. Just as we speak. FT1. Giving it a bit of a crack tonight.
Yeah, they definitely are.
But here's another one. Dave Clements, 5th.
Yeah.
Chris Edwards, 8th. Already done his pit stop.
One of them. Back up.
Yeah, one of them.
Oh, James, a little bit too much on the curb. That's gonna.
Still gotta watch. I still gotta watch. All right, Craig Edwards has done one pit stop, and he's on 10 laps of tyres. All right, so the only other one you need to worry about, let's look down the list here. Nope. He is the only one. Oh, no, sorry. Chris Fraser down in P20 has done one stop, and the stint is 10.
Jeez.
So, Craig Edwards has done his stop, one stop, and he's had 10 laps on them tyres that he's got right now. So his tyres are going to be really a little bit average.
Well, yeah, it would be. Knowing how torturous.
Well, let's look. Look, the degrees has only gone up 3 degrees since that. The track, the same thing. The wind doesn't mean nothing much, only to top end speed, and the humidity is, I don't know, just there to give you something to look at.
Yeah, definitely.
Performance of car. But look, the track temp hasn't changed. It's not. It's like a massive degrees, like it's 40 or 45 or something like a Bathurst or something like, you know, Road America or something. So the temperature is not going to chew too much of a tyre out. So these boys have to change tyres. It's a rule. It's a rule today. So would it be only, can I change one tyre? Would it take the same time in a GTE or a GT3? Can I change just one tyre? Would it change the same?
It's these what if factors.
Well, that's it. Look, we're on YouTube. Message it in YouTube if you know for 100% fact that one tyre takes the same as four. Oliver Fullerton might have to come back for a few rounds in the YouTube chat. Mate, you do. You were usually up the front there. So everything's changed since last time you raced. That was about 2 seasons ago. Definitely.
Or side by side.
Come back.
Yeah.
The team names were Oliver Fullerton, Andrew Walter, always up the front. Who are we missing tonight?
I don't. Rohan.
Yeah.
Is,
Where is he?
He hasn't been there in the last 2 rounds. The last round he was in I think it was the Nürburgring 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, it was. It was strict.
Yeah,
All right, so let's look through the field here. Okay, if you looked at the timing screen, if we could show you the timing screen, it'd be awesome to show. Maybe we'll look at that a little bit future on. But from 1st to 11th in the GTEs, and then we've got 12 and 13. So 12th and 13th car on track are Chad Hearn and Tom Curran, and then we have the rest of the GTEs behind them, and Brenton Young in third position of the GTEs. And it doesn't sound much, but these boys are absolutely flogging it. Chad Hearn, Tom Curran have pushed themselves all season. I'm not a fanboy or anything like that. I'm just saying that the development of their driving skill this season is immense. It is absolutely insane, and I think that everyone would agree with that. We had a chat about this off broadcast or off camera or off podcast or whatever, but these two boys have actually pushed themselves, used each other as a springboard to push each other in this dev series, and I think that's an awesome thing, especially for teammates. And you can see what happens. The results are going to show, because they're pretty much on top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, that would be, definitely.
Well, Tom Curran sitting there with 859 points, and Chad Hearn sitting there with 849. So 10 points between them, and we're going into what, round 8 next round?
Yeah, it would be their last in the endurance round at I believe it's Road America.
Yeah, because we have 2 endurance rounds back to back. So this week we have Le Mans, and then we have Road America next week, and that's not an easy track to have an endurance round. Personally speaking, I don't know about yourself, but
yeah, I've seen a few races around Road America. It's been a normal mainstay for the Scops finale. That's how I know about it. Kind of reminds me of like Sydney Olympic Park in Newcastle, how their street circuit's just a little bit tight and technical. Road America is like that.
well, that's right. Scop starts this weekend, doesn't it?
Next weekend
Next weekend.
at Montreal.
Ouch. That's good. I think we need to JP, this is for you, mate. Hashtag bring iRacing down under. We need a little bit of more Australian tracks.
I know a few street circuits like Adelaide, Townsville, even Gold Coast and Newcastle. It's gonna be a little bit difficult to try and scan down because
Street circuits are always hard to do. But
yeah,
I understand the whole thing of iRacing wanted to be a business, and if you understand the passion or the history behind iRacing, and if you're ever a young kid, and obviously Isaac, you're a little bit younger than I am, if you understood the game of Indy 500, that everyone loved the fact of just having a red car. That's what you had to build up to. You know, that's the same company that owns iRacing today.
it's also the same company that NASCAR racing 2003 season.
Well, that's the thing. Look, NASCAR's taken serious. Esports is moving on its own, okay? And especially in Australia, that esports is going to be a massive thing. It needs to... I think it needs to a little push itself. I don't think iRacing is going to be there and such. It, like, the quality of the driving, maybe not so much the graphics. I'm not bagging it out here. I'm just saying, honest opinion, that you've got Forza that's... shit. But you've got other things coming through the works here that people are sponsoring because of money, not by quality. And I think iRacing has the quality. It might not have graphics that suit like ACC or, you know, Assetto Corsa that you can run many Australian tracks by customized users. But I think iRacing is the genuine bloodline as such of online racing. And
Yeah.
I would wait for someone to argue the fact with me and say that no, iRacing doesn't have the physics or the race physics or the money involved, because iRacing is run as a business and these cars handle and everything they do is a business. So I'd say it's pretty hard to beat. That's my rant over. But we're on board with Tom Curran, by the way, because he's the only one that hasn't made a pit stop yet. I didn't get to that point because I was talking about iRacing, sorry.
The top 2 leaders in GTE have just come back into the pits for their second compulsory pit stop, so let's see who gets out front again.
This is going to be the awesome one. And this is what we said at the start, okay? The last 10 or 5, or probably about 10 minutes on this track, because the track's so big, the fact is here, who is going to get that draft? Who's going to get that sling, that... Yeah, like, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see this. I'm winding myself up for it. I'm ready for it. I'm watching the screen. And it's going to be it's a good showdown for the last probably lap, I reckon. What do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. It will be around the last lap or two. Oh, there we go. Ross is away.
Oh, Ross is out. 19 seconds flat compared to Philip Morton's 23 seconds. That's a 4 seconds straight in the pits. And if you know about racing or anything like that, 4 seconds is a decade. Okay?
That'll be a long...
4 seconds is huge.
Definitely is.
So the fact is that I even win or lose, crash the car, whatever, touch wood, okay, Ross Rizzo, I need to talk to you after this race. Are you fuel saving? Are you going to try and fuel save? Are you banking on the fact that you're in traffic to lay off? Come on, Ross Rizzo has experience. He's an A-class license at 4.34, but not only that, Craig Edwards is behind him in P2, right? With an A-class 4.99 license. So come on, these boys know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, they are. They definitely know what they're doing.
Oh well, that's it. A-class license, mate. Come on. Everyone can run an endurance. Everyone can run endurance series and get A-class licenses. But we know these boys from V8s to GT3s to everything, mate. They push hard. They know how to pedal.
Oh yeah.
Well, in commenting on that, we have a few classes in the AMF Dev Series. We have amateur, rookie. Oh, as we see, someone smashing off in front of him. Who was that?
What just happened?
That was an out. Was that Cameron?
Looks like Cameron's just gone back onto the track.
Yeah, it was Cameron.
Must have got spooked.
I think it was just a bit late in the day.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, nothing much, nothing. Yep. Awesome. Love the new 2-second replay transitions, nice and fast. No messing around. Unlucky for Cameron, but he's back on track. He didn't hit the wall, or as you would say. Daniel Page, P15, coming out of the pits. He's done his second compulsory pit stop. Alright, so while we have the time, we've got 27 minutes left of the race. Let's go through the field. Top 5 GT3s, Ross Rizzo. Craig Edwards is right behind him, but don't forget, Craig Edwards has to pit again. On my timing screen, it actually says Ross Rizzo has to pit again. Is there any way we can verify that through race control, Isaac?
What was that?
Ross Rizzo, on the timing screen, has to pit again. It says he's only pitted once.
I just did it and should be getting a response very shortly.
Ross Rizzo now has the fastest lap. Lap 14, 350.
350.6. Holy
So
smokes.
that is 0.7 faster than Philip Morton's lap. When Philip Morton was right up his keister.
Oh yeah.
Craig Edwards still needs to play a little bit in this, and Chris Whittaker. See the thing with Chris, mate. He's awesome at endurance runs. He's done his second pit stop, right? Even though he's 42 seconds behind, he's done his second pit stop. He'll aim for what he can get, and he'll drive that car 110%. I've seen him drive a Mazda around Bathurst like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, that would be the... Yeah. So I haven't got anything back in terms of for us, but I'll keep an eye out. Keep my eyes peeled to see what the update is.
So let's rock through. Alright, the first GTE, Liam Eagle, is the one that still needs to make a pit stop. He's in P7. Then we've got David Miller that's right behind him. He needs to make a pit stop still. Dave Clements still needs to make a pit stop. How many RRT cars are in this race?
Must be quite a few.
I think I might have to send some messages out and say, hey guys, Team CMR, you better pull your finger out.
Looks like Craig Edwards has jumped up a lot of spots. He's currently in position number 3 and currently on the backside of Phil Morton.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying at the start.
Is it Phil Morton?
I was surprised. No, it's Chris Whittaker in front of him.
Chris Whittaker.
So, I'm surprised that he's that far down on qualifying. Might have been a track he didn't have too much knowledge of or expertise at. But as you know, the two drivers that you can see on screen at the moment, these guys pedal. And you can't see that by time. Jump in the track with them and they'll lap you before you even know it.
Yeah, it'll be like that.
Yeah. No, these guys actually know strategy. Hey, they play it by their mind. They're on the ball 24 hours, well, not 24 hours a day, but every time they're on track, they know where to put the car, where to react, where not to. And as you can see, he's right on the back. These cars are both pitted twice. So this is P5 and P4.
This will be interesting.
Well, that's it. They're going to try and do that move and try and catch that. Well, it's not so hard. Maybe on a small track that you see 23 seconds is a really hard feat.
Oh.
I'm just holding my breath. I'm not going to say nothing.
Same. Passed on.
Yeah. So on a track like this, it's so open, it's so vast, it's so aerodynamics plays a part in how you get out of that corner. If you put that throttle on just a little bit more, not only that, lap traffic is going to help you as well. So Taylor Oakes in front of Craig Edwards there is probably going to give him a little bit of a boost away if you can from Chris. So it's a lot to deal with in a Le Mans. It's not like the Bathurst 12 hour. Let's go back to that. It's only got two straights that you can get the aerodynamic advantage from. As we're going to hear some tyre squealing, I was waiting to see a fence. Yeah, I was waiting for you. He's in the fence.
Yeah. No, not in the fence.
Alright, let's keep going through the field. Okay, Chris Whittaker, obviously in 5th position. And we'll hide that. Scott Chambers, 8.59 behind. He's done his second stop, so he's done his compulsory stops for the night. Liam Eagle is the first of the GTEs not to do his second as he comes into the pits right now as I speak. Is that commentator's curse or what? That's not a curse.
Oh, I don't know.
Steve Lattimore has already done his second. Dave Clements
He's getting hounded.
Yeah, but he's still on one pit stop.
And it's just got part and just to let Tyre Blackburn pass.
Yeah, but he's only done 3 laps.
Really?
He's only done 3 laps on his first pit stop.
That's weird. And now he's getting hounded by Cameron Pryor, who's just gone off. Oh, that was close. That was really, really close. Nearly ended badly.
Let's go back. Let's go look at some GT3s. Okay, Stephen Varga. Okay, is one of a couple of cars that's done 3 stops. So obviously he's had an unlucky night, but he's still running in P6 in the GT3s. In front of him, Jeremy Clark in the AMG has only done 1 stop. Brenton West, Audi, P3 in the GT3s.
Whoa! That was close. Craig Edwards and Chris Whittaker.
Oh, they're going to battle this to the end.
Yeah. Looks like it. I'm getting distracted by a snoring dog.
Alright, so let's talk about the finishes. The non-finishes, sorry. Ryan Jones, GTE, Hayden Betterfield is out. Aaron Invers is surprising, but that was probably that fence that we saw.
No, he dropped out.
David Mulhill, Hayden Veld, another one. Jesse Varley. And then Mattisford and Ross did not grid.
I believe... No, they are race control.
Oh, that is correct. They are, actually.
They're race control, so...
Oh, as we see Chris get all out of shape.
Oh, nearly went in the fence.
That was massive for a Ferrari.
I completely missed it, but I think he went right out sideways.
Oh, mate, if you saw that, yeah, he was Mr. Squiggle, mate. He was drawing some lines.
Celebrating 60 years.
How many puns are we going to chuck in there?
I know the Royal Australian Mint are making some special edition coins. Oh, Ross McQueen. Doing a bit of off-road truckers.
Yeah, but Bruce Ross on the back of Liam Eagle. But look, this is going to be a fun one. Bruce has actually pushed his way through the field tonight, so he's doing good.
Oh, yeah, they are. Oh, that one in the fence! Just saw it briefly, just a split second saw one in the fence. That looked like it was a Mercedes. Just missed who it was, but it went into the fence. That would be Simon, I think it was. Yeah, it was Simon Larder in the Mercedes AMG. He went all out, spun it and went straight into the fence.
Oh, that was unlucky from that Ferrari.
It was a Mercedes.
Yeah, the Mercedes were on the fence, but the Ferrari missed him.
That'll be a close shave to whoever that was behind him.
I gotta
see who.
Yeah, I gotta find out who it was. So
can't really see who's who because it's so dark.
Yeah, it's a bit dark, eh? So the boys were saying, oh, it might be a bit dark for broadcast. Oh, no, it should be right. But the only thing that stands out in the broadcasters at night time would be these Fords. Like, if you see the side of a Ford and you go and have a look at the lighting on these Fords, it is exceptional. It looks awesome.
Okay, I just got confirmation from Race Control. Ross Rizzo has done both his compulsory pit stop. Is good to the end.
Yeah, because my timing sheet only says he's only pitted once.
Dave Clements is the only driver not to have completed his second compulsory pit stop. He's currently in position number 9 and is currently hassling the leader of GT3 being Chad Earn. No, position 11, sorry. That's Sebastian Murray Westberg. Actually, another driver that has been unaccounted for the last couple of rounds has been Chris Radisich. He hasn't been in the series since Spa. That's what I've noticed. Oh.
Well, as you can see by the name, that Dave Clements making a move.
Definitely making a move and gets a dub, but behind him is Tyler Blackburn. He's gonna make possibly do 2 passes in a matter of 1 corner. Let's see if he'll execute that one. So, Sebastian, Seb, no grazie, not a grazie ragazzi moment.
Well, that's the point, hey. There's so much of a break on this track. There's I relate to this track the same as the Nürburgring. So there's some long straights, and you kind of, especially in an endurance race, that people don't, the non-sim racers won't understand the mental fatigue that actually happens being a sim racer. You might actually think of it as that's just funny, you drive around in a computer game. But the mental fatigue that happens, that these boys will be feeling right now. Like, how many cars do we have on track? What, 46 total and 35 still running? Look, the mental fatigue that's going to be going on at the moment, even I would have it. So, a little mistake or a little bit too much brake, your memory in your foot or anything like that, it's going to lose you a couple of seconds. So, you got to give it to the boys to make it run cleanly as possible. As you can see, Ross Rizzo out by 8 seconds.
Unbelievable.
You know who's coming in here. He messaged in chat, in YouTube chat before. So he knew he was coming in here to have a crack. he was going to come in there, you know, I'm going to give you a 3-hit combo, left, right, good night.
Yeah,
That's it, man. He knew that he was going to give it everything he had. And that's the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing that, look, you know, we've had a few people leave or crash out or whatever, but you got to give it 100%. And you got to give it 100% 100% of the time. Because if you don't, then you're not a racer. If you don't see that gap and go for it, then you're not racing. So,
Oh! Who was that? That was Dave Clements. Locked it up. Tyler's right behind him. He's gonna let him. Is he gonna let him by? No, he's not. He's gonna keep an eye on him for us. Yeah, there we go. Pass executed. Dave just locked the brakes coming before the Dunlop Bridge. Had a lot of lock, stock, barrel, but managed not to spin it and loses a spot to Tyler. Still hasn't done his second compulsory pit stop yet, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does it now.
Dave Clements is the only one that hasn't had a compulsory pit stop yet.
Yeah, Kanka fan.
Yeah, my timing sheet is like all out of whack. I think we need to start running RMS software.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Cheers, Dave. Ding! Yeah. So extra credits.
Yeah.
It's not too far behind Tyler, though.
Oh, yeah.
There's a massive spread, though.
Oh, yeah, there is a big spread.
Because if you look at the track map, the cars are mixed left, right, and centre. We've got a couple on Russ McQueen done 3 stops. What's going on, Russ? Stephen Varga, 3 stops. What are you doing, Steve?
Who's had the most pit stops?
Well, we've got 2. So we've got Stephen Varga on 3. And we've got Russ McQueen on 3. And then we've got Sebastian on 3.
That would make sense. Oh, Phil! Very wide coming from into Michelin corner. 4 abreast. I mean, 4 in the air. Nearly gets it loose, but manages to recover it pretty good. That's the thing you're talking about. That's the mental fatigue. He'll probably be starting to feel fatigued and start to make
It's the simplest mistakes. It goes down to millimeters. It's millimeters. So you can run laps as in practice, but it comes down to millimeters. Like in a race or in a practice, you don't have that stress, you don't have that pressure, you don't have that on your back. But when you run in a race, like look at the guys that did 24-hour or the 12-hour. It's huge amounts of stress.
It would.
Like,
it would.
1 second a lap is safer than 45 minutes in pits. But these guys now are looking at this as in, it's not an AMF Dev Series shootout race like we usually have. Like, we can have clean races that are no dramas and everyone just runs perfectly clean, or we can have races in a short track. Like, look at the races we've had on short tracks. Like, it's insane how much moves or crazy mistakes have been made. Even look at last week's. It was crazy.
It was.
10A, 10B was just, that was it. It was on point. Everyone was like, oh yeah, 10A, 10B. If I can get a run out of the last 9, then we're sweet for that. But they weren't making moves. But this one, Le Mans is a different kettle of fish, if you would say. It's all about how you get that run out of that last corner. How do you get that pressure, that speed? How can you just get that little bit of slipstream to move? As you can see, that if anyone makes a dive or makes a move on any of these corners, all that we've seen all night is people move over and let them have them. Because they know if you take it wide on the next corner, as we see Simon Ladder just pull up a little bit and just give a little bit of respect to the GTEs, That's AMF Dev Series for you.
Yep. I actually got a comment aimed to myself by Daniel Page. How do you say Tyler's last name? Tyler Blackburn.
Blackburn.
What? Why? Did I say anything different? I don't know why, but I think I've got the Race on Oz curse on me again.
Yeah, you gotta stop talking, otherwise they're gonna have a little bit of issue. I think Steve Lattimore's gonna send you a little bit of a PM later, like, hey, Isaac, watch it. You keep talking, we got problems. Now, look, as you can see, it's not a major thing, but the track has actually cooled down 1 degree.
Drive-through penalty.
Oh no.
357. That is Darren Huxham. It's just been received a pit lane drive-through penalty for causing a collision.
Ouch.
Must have missed that one as well.
Yeah, so did I. I didn't see nothing on the. I'm watching the times, and the times are. The boys are pretty spread out at the moment.
Yeah.
The only one of us, Russ McQueen, is, but he's GTE, upper GT3. So, you know, Brenton Young. Let's prove how the. Ouch! As you go a little bit wide there. Let's prove how the AMF guys do it, you know?
Yeah.
But surprise, surprise. Let's have a look. Top 5, GT3, Tom Curran, Chad Hearn. Dude. We're just gonna, yeah, I think I should change that for next broadcast and just say, you know who.
You know who?
Yeah, with these two. I think Chad Hearn. The Beamer's in second, so I think the Beamer needs to, you know, come on, Chad, pull your finger out. Yeah, get the Beamer up there. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit better on the corners, but obviously the AMG's pushing a bit on the straights.
Dan just said it was just staring around with me because knowing I've spoken to them after the broadcast. The guys at Race on Oz been spoken to them at the broadcast. They seem to be just having a bit of banter afterwards.
Yeah, well, why not? What? It's the whole point of it. Everyone's here to have a laugh, and the boys will watch this back and whatnot. But let's look at lap times. The BMW, right? Let's look at the best lap it's done. Is 0.2 of a second slower than the AMG of Tom Curran.
Wow.
Alright. So that's just saying that these AMF guys, you know, they go through this every week. They test these cars out 100%, and there's a lot now. Take on account of the GTEs and the GT3s now. There's like what, 7 cars? 7 cars that they have to make legit the same.
Yeah.
So it's a hard feat. Now, take that into account if you're watching this. Can you go and make a decent set for one car? And
it takes trial and error.
Yeah, but that's it. We have, no joke, 6 days to produce a set that manages the whole entire field.
Yeah.
That's pretty technical.
Definitely is.
Alright, let's go through the order. Everyone's done their pit stops, but Dave Clements is still not pitted yet.
So,
Mr. RMS himself. And he needs to take that forward into the pits.
Come on, Dave. You don't have long.
Now we have the AMF GT3 top 5. We've got Ross Rizzo up front, Phil Morden, James Wilson, Craig Edwards, as we knew that we're going to push it, and Chris Whittaker still in 5th.
Aye. And I'm not sure if it's happening on your screen too, but in my screen, Ross is blinking.
Let's go have a squeeze. No, he is. His internet is having an oh goddamn no moment.
The oh hell no. Oh hell no.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh hell no. So if you tell me now that he's raced, no joke, it is down to the last 3 minutes of this race. Estimated 24 laps, not the 22,194,376 laps. He is run down to, no joke, the second last lap as he's about to finish, come across the start finish line to do his 23rd lap.
This will be this.
And his internet carks it.
Oh, he'll be spewing. I'd be spewing.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that it's words that you don't say on a broadcast.
Yeah.
It's a bit crazy.
It's exactly 3 minutes to go, so it might be a little bit lucky if
Ross
we
Rizzo
might...
still holds the fastest lap, a lap at 14 at 350.661.
Yeah, he
So
might
he's still
squeeze
got
in.
it.
Yeah, he might squeeze it. This might be his last lap, might not be, so we're about to find out though.
I'd have to say it's got to be the last.
It's
Come
so
on.
close.
The pit difference in time with 19 depends to 23 seconds. Come on, he's hoping. He's hoping. If he does not, if this is not the last lap, I don't think he's going to have the fuel.
That's something we haven't really talked about it lately. That's fuel. Once if they start coughing.
I don't think if Ross Rizzo does not get the white flag in 1 minute 31 seconds. Let's look at the current time. 1:33. We've got 1:24 to go. That's close. And he's got 11 seconds. So he has to slow down. He has to slow down.
Oh, yeah, he'll have to.
By my calculations, he has to slow down and let the time run out before he passes that start-finish line. Otherwise, he's going to do another lap, and I don't think he's going to have the fuel for it. 4 seconds of fuel in a GTE car. Chuck it in chat if you know how much 4 seconds gives you.
Won't be a lot, though.
2:21. Alright, let's go back. Steve Lattimore's on the back of Tyler Blackburn, but obviously Steve Lattimore's the boss man, and Tyler's just going to be like, I'll let him go. Otherwise, you're going to get fired. Let's go back. Liam Eagle, again, another racing Oz boy. Right at the back of David Clements, as they all make three-way passes here around a GT3 car. Tom Curran, surprise, surprise, still first up on the GT3s. Chad Hearn in second position. Can't pull your finger out, mate. You should be right up the back of him by now. I can give you shit because he's 1 and 2 anyway. Brenton West, number 3 in GT3s, sorry. Clean race tonight, mate. He's done well. Stephen Varga out of 4th in the GT3s. Let's go back up to Ross Rizzo and see how he's going to go with the fuel.
He's just past Michelin Corner on the way to the 4G under the 4GT banner.
Is he going to do it?
I don't know.
Time's run out, mate. The time's run out. We need to know. It's white flag. It is white flag. This is the last lap.
There we go. Race over. Come across the final. Round the final corner he goes. Ross Rizzo.
He's done it. On fuel. How close was that? That was within 10 seconds, mate. Within 10 seconds, he has done it. How is that on fuel? Has he got fuel? His car's not running.
Oh, is he purposely?
It's choking.
Oh, it's choked.
It's choked on the line.
Oh!
What did we say?
Wow.
Philip Morton, second position. James Wilson. coming round in third. How was that for fuel?
Just did it in the nick of time.
Craig Edwards in fourth. Well done. What a drive.
Did it in the nick of time. Holy smokes! That could have ended so differently.
But that was the thing. If the time ran out, like he had a buffer of no joke. I think that I worked it out in my head. Don't question me on it. Don't quote me on it. But no joke, 12 seconds. He had a 12-second buffer.
And that would have been ended.
Yeah, because he would have to do another lap. And that, as we could see by the Philip Morton stop, that was 4 seconds more. Philip took more fuel for an extra lap.
It was playing a risk game.
No, that was precise. That was on
perfect.
the ball. Like, no, I've got it in the bag. This is what's going to happen.
It'll be perfect.
Definitely, that was amazing. Learn from that,
Okay.
kids. Learn from that, kids.
Dave Clarence still in position on number 9, but he will possibly incur a penalty similar to that of a pit lane trundle time because he did not do his second compulsory pit stop.
Who didn't do that?
Dave.
Busted.
Whoa!
Oh, PRT versus RRT on the line.
Liam Eagle, but that
Yeah.
wasn't for position though.
Yeah, but that was David Clements though. So
Yeah. So cars finish across the line. Completely dark. Cannot see where we are. A few more cars on the line. Simon Lada, Darren Hudson. See who the very... Oh. Oh no! Mark Dial in the fence at the final corner.
oh, is
But
oh,
does
is
not
Chris
lose
gonna
his spot,
take him?
though.
He's gonna take him.
Whoa. And I believe
Tom Curran,
last-
here we go. Last couple of corners.
it's the last. I think it's the last one. No, he's not. Chad Erb behind him. So this is RRT 1-2 again.
Oh mate, I'm not even gonna go there with these two. Okay,
No,
we should just leave
They're-
it there permanently. 1, 2, these two.
they're just in the league of their own. They're, like
Oh,
RRT.
the car's not handling too well, but he knows it. He knows Chad's not gonna make no moves or anything like that. He knows Chad's 8 seconds behind him, 9 seconds behind him. So he's
Lights
just
are
cruising.
blazing.
He's just cruising.
Yeah, just another cruisy finish to the line. Lights ablaze around the final
Yeah,
corner.
look at the difference between Chad. So he's probably gonna slow down and go, oh, let's go for a photo moment. He is too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, you show ponies.
But
Oh,
too
look,
little, too late.
Chad's not laying off. Forget it. Yeah, forget you.
What? They got a hit.
Chad,
They got a hit.
it's
Chad.
on broadcast, bro. You could have took him.
Chad? Chad, calm down.
Yeah, you could have taken him out, mate. Yeah,
Yeah.
you chicken shit. No, it's been a good race, man. Look, it's one of these races that you gotta say it's a slow, long, drawn out race. It's one of these races
And look at
where
that.
these guys are gonna resort to their team mentality, and it's not a shootout. It's not a it's a small endurance race for these guys. You probably
Yeah.
practice more than what these are. So, look, let's
Look, FT1 just having their oh. Who was that? Who just took him out? Oh, that's crashing into each other now.
Who's that?
Like all the FT1 drivers. Well, the race is over. Might as well YOLO.
Yeah, that's it. Pretty much.
You're only too good, love it. I think that's everyone across the line. Is that right? No, Gary Fishwick looks like he's still got a bit of pace on him. So
No, he's probably just messing around. Team see how my boy.
yeah, see where he goes.
Oh, let's see who we got around and who's in the waiting room. I really need to talk to Ross Rizzo. Oh, I think that's a question for Ross Rizzo. So let's see if he's in here.
He's currently in the waiting room.
Ross, how you going?
Very well, thanks, guys. What about yourselves? Hope you enjoyed the race.
Oh yeah, we have.
Yeah, it was a good race, mate. I gotta say something to you though. That fuel, the fuel on the last stop. We were looking at the times between you and Philip there. You planned that to perfection, didn't you?
I actually expected to come out behind Phil. I was hoping to come out behind Phil because I was going to be marginal on fuel with the numbers that I had. Except, I don't know what happened. I'm guessing I know my JRT changed the lap prediction on that lap, so I don't know whether Phil accounted for that. But that's where I think I got the time. But yeah, I actually planned to come out behind Phil because he was behind me the whole time. Would have been saving fuel and was expecting him to jump me in the pits.
Well, I was kind of working it out there between the pits because it was a 4-second difference and the last pit stop there. I don't know if it was a major thing or not, but I was saying, no joke to Isaac there, that Ross had 12 seconds of a difference. If you crossed that finish line 12 seconds in front, you would have run out of fuel. Did you plan it? Like, did you run out of fuel on that finish line, or did you run out of fuel, or did you have enough for another lap?
No, I only had enough basically to get back onto the back straight. That was it.
So
Not much more.
Your car was choking as you went past the finish line.
No, it still had life in it. But yeah, not much more for a few corners. I did have to make sure that I got home because I was pretty tight. But just a couple of lifts and coasts, and the gap really helped me to manage what little problems I had.
Yeah, no, that was awesome, mate. That was an awesome drive from you. We had a quick chat in YouTube chat before you jumped in, and I didn't actually understand that you were actually in this race when you said it. But yeah, mate, from the start there, you kind of gave it everything and all that you had tonight. So what a good drive from you. The strategy played out, and it was so clean. It was so clean of a drive. It was awesome. So, do you want to thank anyone, mention your sponsors and all that?
Yes, first of all, thanks very much to AMF for running the series and letting me run tonight. It was an absolute pleasure, and hope to come back in the future. Also to Phil for a fantastic race tonight. Congrats to FT1 on their result as well. And a big thank you to the boys at Trick Sim Sports, Trick Custom Fabrications, and Knight Rider Designs. And congratulations to you guys on the broadcast channel launch.
Yeah, thanks, mate. We as we said at the start of the thing, with all amateurs, but we just try and give you guys a little bit of an insight to what your race was. It's nothing major, but mate, from start to finish, we were saying that Ross is in this race and how's he going to go and everything, but obviously you proved us in how you're going to race tonight, because we know you from multiple race series around iRacing, and you were a part of the community as much as well. So no, it was awesome to see you jump into this race and basically have a good run. You were playing cat and mouse for a bit there with you and Philip. I think it was like 4, 5, 6, and I don't know, probably the next 5 after that. So no, it was awesome to watch you guys race. Your racecraft was perfect, and you had respect for each other, and it was a good race. So thanks to you to jump back into the AMF Dev Series.
Yeah, thanks very much. Well, you got to race this track quite clever because it's hard to pull away. So you just got to race smart, keep it clean, and stay on the black stuff. And as Phil and I proved, you get good results.
Definitely.
That's it. All right, mate. Ross, you have a good night, mate, and thanks for jumping in.
Thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of the night.
All right, let's bring in Brenton West. He was a GT3 driver. Isaac, hit it up.
Will do.
Hi, Brenton. How you going? Oh, it shows his little green symbol. He's not talking. Something wrong with his microphone there.
You there, Brenton? You are lining up, but we've got we're hearing nothing from you.
All right, we'll try that in a minute. All right, let's try Philip Morton. Phil, how you going?
Not bad, and you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. How's that run for you?
A lot more difficult than I expected, actually. Thought it was going to be a little bit smoother than that, but once some of the traffic got involved, trying to keep on Ross's backside was really hard.
Yeah, it would be with not only on the track but also in pit lane. We were looking at all the pit lane times between you and Ross, and the first one was really tight, and all of a sudden in the second pit lane trundle time, you were a little bit slower than Ross.
Yeah, I lost about 3.5 seconds in that, mostly because I took another 5 litres of fuel than Ross, I think. So, my bad. but yeah, no, it was really. I was hoping to be a little bit closer coming out of there. I think I could have closed down that gap a little bit. Yeah, slowdowns and traffic, so ended up losing out about 5 seconds more.
Yeah, because we were working that out by the end of the race. We're having a look at the timing screens and the pit stop times as well, because it was a 4-second difference in the pits, and we were wondering if Ross actually had enough fuel to make it, and he was within 12 odd seconds before the time ran out, before the white flag that was his last lap. So technically, if he didn't make it in time, that you would have won that race out of him running out of fuel.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to play the slightly longer game and make sure that I had enough fuel to get past and at least be able to get in around another lap, potentially, if we got that far, but I didn't think we would, so I think I had about an extra 2/3 of a lap of fuel on board.
So
something close to that.
I've got to ask you a question, right? Between, 3, 4, 5 laps, lap 3, 4, or 5 and that, you would chopping and changing your positions. How was the car handling?
Lovely. Actually, I was enjoying it. The pace, top end pace of the two cars was so close. I was just staying back behind Jimmy and Ross initially, just to save a bit of fuel. Didn't need to lead, so I was just keeping back. And then, I think Jimmy made a slight mistake, which let me through at Arnage. So I stuck on the back of Ross, then he got a slowdown. I went past him, then I got a slowdown. He went back past me. So
it was a bit of cat and mouse there going on for a bit.
Yeah, he was wanting to stay behind me and save fuel, and I can totally understand that. And then, I got my slowdown, so he had to go back in front again. But, oh well.
It happens.
No, it was a really good race from the position of trying to keep up with the whole entire track of what was going on. We were trying to play out in our minds of what was going to happen, especially with the fuel strategies and looking at the numbers. But you guys were playing cat and mouse the whole entire race, and it came down to the fact that who had the pit stop. We were watching at the pit stop to see who put the fuel in, who was going to go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually changed my pit stop strategy to match Ross. I was actually intending on going in 1 lap earlier than I did. So who knows what would have happened, but I think that might have been a better option for me to do. Because in clean air, I think I had about 2 or 3 tenths on Ross if I didn't screw up the lap and get a slowdown. So it was close. He did a masterful race, did the least amount of mistakes, and got the win as a result, and deserved it fully.
It was very respectful driving, mate. If you want to give it a shout out to any of your teammates or your sponsors, mate, have a crack now.
Oh, the teammates, they're all great. Just wanted to give a shout out to Darren Hoxham and Daniel Cheney, new entries to FT1. Of course, all the usuals, regulars, Taylor, Jimmy, and Chris, because they're awesome guys and do this more often than I do at the moment. And our sponsors, we've got SRC, we've got Demon Tweaks. Got to really thank them. They've been really cool to us. We've got I can't remember the whole list. Damn it. Our sister team's actually just got a new sponsor, TechSense. So yeah, I'll have to go and get the list of all of them later.
Nah, that's all good, mate.
I made so many liveries of them, and I forget them still.
That's what it's like with team racing, eh? When you got a lot of people. But look, mate, you definitely showed your racecraft tonight, and how you and Ross came into a series. No offense in saying this, he's not on the GT3 or GTE leaderboard, but he's came in and actually schooled the boys tonight by the gap that he's had, and he showed the professionalism of your driving, and I got to give you credit for that. It was amazing to see. So
thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in tonight, mate, and I hope to see you again in another Dev series, or even jump in the practice sessions, as we say in the AMF Dev series. That look, we have two practice sessions a week, and everyone helps everyone out, and yeah, it's awesome to see. So I appreciate your time in the series, and I hope you come back.
Oh, definitely. Hopefully, I'll have a bit more time next season. So this season's just been a little bit tough with Daytona and the other, like we're prepping for Sebring now, and we had the Bathurst 12-hour and all of that sort of stuff. So it kind of got a little bit too much to do. AMF as well, but yeah, next season definitely I'll try and make the time slot on Sunday to do it.
Well, there you go. As you heard from the horse's mouth, watch out for these boys in the Sebring 12-hour.
It'll be fun.
Thank you very much.
No worries, mate. Thanks for dropping in the commentary box, mate. Thanks, Phil.
No problem. See you guys later.
See you, mate. All right, mate. That's been an awesome run tonight. Hopefully, there was not too many technical dramas, and it was some entertaining. How you going, Isaac?
Yeah, good.
Well, exhausted by the sounds of it.
Exhausted. Charged.
Oh, well, look, we had a few technical dramas, and that's how it goes. But look, from a standpoint of podium broadcasting, you have to give yourself a name. So that's what we did. I like that name and I love it. So hopefully in the future that we have a little bit more. We have 4 broadcasters total. Four commentators total and 2 broadcasters. And we've got a lot happening. So if all goes well and everything goes well, it'll be 6 nights a week that you'll see some racing action. We've got 2 nights of dirt racing, 2 nights of V8 racing, and then we have two nights of GTE GT3 racing, and then once a month we have endurance season racing. So look, hopefully everything turns out well. Hopefully we can pull it together and iron out these technical issues. A few thanks that we got to say. Look, Jay Kennedy SimSpeed, mate, you've been more than happy to answer my messages when I send you. He's the god of broadcasting. You know, Chris Kessie, thanks for your positivity. There's so many names I would love to mention at the moment. Ryan Colstead for give us a shot. It was a joke at first to start broadcasting, but this is what we've turned out to be. So it's turned out this far, so we might as well keep going with it and keep going with the brand and keep going with everything. So look, constructive criticism is more than welcome. Jump in Discord and tell me how much I'm messing up. I will laugh at you and then take it on board. But I appreciate everyone that views this. I appreciate everyone that supports us. I appreciate everyone that gives a like, a sub, or anything like that, all that kind of crap. I really appreciate it. We're doing this for the fun, and it's free, and we donate our time to let you guys and the iRacing community down under, that's another plug, if you want to face it that way, to enjoy and see your races after you race. You know, as a third point of view, we try and give camera time and to everyone. But it is pretty full on. But I thank you for tuning in, and I'll stop blabbling on now. But it's the first broadcast that technically is under podium. But I got to say a special mention to the AMF guys, and also Dave Clements at RMS. You guys have helped us out and made it what it is today. So, and also thanks Isaac because he steps up when I'm not around.
Yeah, no worries. I'll be back here next week.
Yeah, well, that's it. We've got Thursday night. We've got V8s on Thursday. We've got the Race and Pace series. You would have seen the videos at the start, and I will show you the video at the end. It is like a... what do you call it? It's like a heat series.
It's like rallycross.
Yeah, it's like rallycross, but in the V8s. But, you know, the funniest thing is they actually win real money. So it's going to be interesting to see. So it's a 5-race series, and hopefully next series that it'll probably go to a 10 to 12 race series. Worm Paints is the major sponsor, so hopefully that we can get enough numbers around that and win these guys some real money or even some really good paints. So also I would like to say thanks, Isaac, for joining me in the commentary box again. It's been a pleasure. And we'll see you next time.
Will do.